GM. GM. Going to look first at the altcoin health index. And in fact, that's what this trade of the day is going to be about. So it's not about a trade for today, but it's a good little mini lesson on one of these indicators, which I have made and is in the, what's this here? Oh, that's my video. It's in the Learning Center. So go Learning Center, Library, Alpha Center, Altcoin Health Index. You'll be able to see it here. If I can click into it. There we go. And you can find it on TradingView. So, dominance of altcoins over Bitcoin. And it creates a ratio. So, what you're looking at is if the shading is red, it signals that altcoins have too great of a dominance against Bitcoin. It's basically a top. If it's a green background, it indicates that Bitcoin dominance has really spiked against alts and indicates a bottom. So it's another way to visualize Bitcoin dominance and altcoin dominance. And as you can see, typically when it gets into the red zone, gets above 0.75, which is shaded in red, altcoins are at a top or in a complacency bounce. When it gets into green, the absolute best time ever possible to buy alts, over there, as you can see. Could not be a better time to buy alts, just as we're grinding up right before the massive explosion. Then they get expensive, and they remain expensive throughout all this peak, and even into the bear market. Terrible time to hold and own alts, and then it bleeds all the way down. This bear market low didn't get quite as low as last cycles. So last cycle we bottomed out around 0.27. Here it was about 0.38. Makes sense that altcoins would, be a little bit stronger as a whole. But as I look at it here, as price has gone up, this index is going lower. And that's a clear sign, I'm sure you all know this, that apart from a select few, most alts have underperformed BTC. And you can see that clearly here. I don't know if we're going to get a 2021 type of move. We probably will, by the way, because you know how this happens. This doesn't happen bearish, this happens bullish. This happens from Bitcoin breaking all-time high and going a massive run. So it seems to be setting up similar, to be honest, in that Bitcoin, if it goes for a big run above all-time high, is going to send the altcoin dominance lower temporarily. Will we get a signal of green? If we do, clearest buy signal you'll ever get for alts, and probably the only time of the cycle where you want to get out of Bitcoin for a few weeks or months. And then the time, and this is one of the reasons why I don't think the bull market's over. We haven't had any kind of altcoin outperformance. It doesn't have to go into red, right? Will it get above 0.75 again? Maybe. But you'll notice that in consecutive cycles, it's lower peaks. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's all we see, something like that. I wouldn't necessarily be waiting around for it to go into red. But certainly, until there's some kind of sustained outperformance, even just that, I would say the altcoin cycle, dominance-wise, would tell us that the market's not done yet. So that's a good one to keep an eye on. It's in the Learning Center. Just keep tracking it. It won't play out like last cycle. It won't do the exact same thing. It doesn't have to go green. If it does go green, it's just brain dead, get long. People are really capitulating their alts to chase Bitcoin. Otherwise, you want to use it as a signal that when it starts to trend higher, that's good, right? Trending higher, like here, trending up is good. It's when it reaches the peak that you're realizing that's when alts become expensive. Okay? So, any trades setting up on ETH or Bitcoin here? I think ETH looks pretty good. It's chopping around this pivot level, so I do quite like ETH around the pivot. I would like to see this consolidation level hold and for ETH to start pushing towards it. I think there's a long trade on ETH from the pivot to the monthly open. I think that's a very simple and obvious trade. However, we've been moving up now since Tuesday, and there's room for a reversion, right? So we might end up just reverting the whole thing, putting in a bottom there, and then going for it. That's one potential path. The second path I would say is the momentum. If ETH keeps grinding like this, I would look at a potential move to that monthly open for longs. Today, don't know how it's going to be. The boomers are back. Stock market will be open after being closed yesterday. We'll see how that goes with the ETF buying. So you have to look at Tuesday's close. Be mindful of this as well. Tuesday's close was around here. Wednesday, there was no session. So this was Tuesday NY close. That's important, right? Because there'll be a gap. If Bitcoin opens here, don't be surprised there's a little dip down. If it holds the New York close, starts to move up, good setup to go to the weekly open. So if there is a quick flush down at the New York open today, don't consider it to be too surprising, too much of a concern. And as we look at Thursday's data, is there anything of note? Unemployment claims, Britain, not much. Couple of FOMC members speaking, or just one barking. Worth noting to see if there's anything, but otherwise, nothing of note there, nothing too exciting. So I would suspect that probably more of a consolidation day today. I think if we go down, if Bitcoin holds above this support that it's set and it moves down and consolidates here, I think it's going to set up for a breakout later on, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it has to consolidate sideways for a little bit longer. Trading wise, it's low volatility, tight range. There's not many great trades. There was a nice long trade yesterday and a nice long trade on Tuesday. Nice long trade this morning, sorry. So Thursday, we moved up all the way in the morning. So there's been just one unidirectional move so far this morning. Not a lot of volume, I don't think. Yeah. I would suspect that this move will reverse, and I think we'll move back down. We kind of drifted higher from the daily open, pushed up, peaked with a spike of volume, and pushing over the highs and rejecting. And now anyone who's got long Thursday morning, I think they're at risk. I think the immediate move heading into New York Open is probably some kind of a reversion back down, either to the New York close level or back to support. And from there, we'll see how it moves. I just wouldn't be certain that Bitcoin is going to continue trending from here. So that's how today's setting up. GM. We'll do all coin requests later, 4 p.m. UTC.